The Melanzana rosa di Rotunda is a delicious heirloom eggplant with a complex origin story. This beautiful orange-colored cousin of Solanum melongena, the familiar grocery store eggplant, traveled across time and distance on the heels of war to become a culinary treasure in its adopted home. Solanum ethiopicum is nicknamed Ethiopian eggplant and mock tomato, as the small reddish-orange fruit truly resembles a tomato-eggplant hybrid. The Ethiopian eggplant is more bitter and also doesn't turn brown when it's cut, making it distinctly different from the aubergine. While its exact origins aren't clear, we do know that it's native to non-arid regions in Africa, as well as parts of Asia. Historically in Africa, Ethiopian eggplant has been used in both medicinal and culinary preparations. The fruit is rich in antioxidants as well as saponins, and they contain flavonoids, an anti-inflammatory. While it's revered in Africa for its myriad health benefits, this highly nutritious eggplant relative is uncommon in Western cuisine. One exception is in Pollino National Park, in the southern Italian province of Potenza. The seeds of this eggplant most likely came to Italy in the hands of Italian soldiers and colonists returning from Ethiopia following the Italo-Abyssinian War of the 1930s. After the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini took power in the early 1920s, he set his sights on what was, at the time, the last African country free of European control, Ethiopia, or as it was commonly known at the time, Abyssinia. As a show of national strength, Mussolini yearned to create an Italian empire in Africa. Using a border incident between Ethiopia and Italian Somaliland as a pretext, and after rejecting months of arbitration offers, Italian forces invaded Ethiopia without a formal declaration of war in October of 1935. It was a brutal war by any account. More than 300,000 Ethiopians were killed in battle, and thousands of prisoners died of disease or starvation. Italian forces freely deployed mustard gas bombs in violation of the Geneva Convention and bombed Red Cross ambulances, hospitals, and civilian targets. The League of Nations condemned the invasion and imposed sanctions, but they were largely ineffective. In his famous 1936 speech, Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie appealed to the League, describing the war atrocities and warning that the League's inaction posed a threat to its very existence. In fact, France and Britain had hatched a secret plan to partition Abyssinia and give most of it to Italy in exchange for a truce. The war sparked global outrage, including in the U.S. There was a surge of interest among African Americans to volunteer and go to fight for Ethiopia, and thousands of people marched in the streets of Harlem in protest. The Ethiopian military was hopelessly overpowered by the Italians. Selassie was forced into exile on May 2, 1936, and the capital, Addis Ababa, fell under Italian control 3 days later. When Mussolini declared victory, 2/3 of the country was still under Ethiopian control, and there was no formal surrender. That same year, Mussolini declared the formation of Italian East Africa. It included Italian Somalia, Italian Eritrea, and Ethiopia. During World War II, British and American forces drove the Italian occupiers out of Ethiopia in 1941, and Selassie returned from exile. Those Italians returning home to Rotunda are presumed to have taken the seeds of this eggplant back with them. It's likely that the soldiers and Italian settlers developed a taste for the fruit, prompting them to save some seeds. The Ethiopian eggplant is still grown in Rotunda to this day, though it's taken on a unique look after decades of selection. It's not prepared into rollatini or other common eggplant dishes. Instead, it's most often preserved in oil and vinegar and made into relishes and pâté. In the decades since its introduction to Italy, this eggplant has become embedded in the Potenza region's culinary culture. It even has a protected designation of origin, or DOP, a label granted by the European Union to recognize foods indigenous to a particular region or country. We invite you to try this unusual little eggplant in your garden. Thanks so much for watching Seed Stories. We love bringing you the backstory on these amazing varieties. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you won't miss a single episode.